What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Cylon, Johns, and Jill's Network. I hope you're having a fantastic day because we're going to be covering our expert analysis and teaser for the expert analysis will be Season 2, Episode 12, Resurrection Ship Part 2, and then we'll have Season 2, Episode 13, Epiphanies. We'll have the teaser for that, so stay tuned. And we're going to start off talking a very interesting topic. Sweaty Starbuck. Hashtag soap. That's just as simple as that. And we have our resident expert on the panel, my co-host, my good friend. What is going on? How are you today, John St. Baptiste?
I'm doing well, doing quite well. I actually have to take most of this day to do grown-upping, but it's so that my other day off can actually be a day off, so that'll be nice. Yeah, and I don't need a shower quite as well as Starbucks, but I will by the end of the day. I know that our resident Cylon number 2, Mackenzie, always thinks that Starbuck needs a shower. Well, if you look at this scene, she really needs a shower, and I think she should use some of that special Pegasus soap.
Maybe her special Cylon circuitry won't allow her to get wet, right? Or have soap on her. Like there must be some type of chemical reaction. There's a flaw in her model, possibly. But we know on the Pegasus that they're just ready to go. They have it. They have soap, and they're ready. So I think Starbuck has a friend on the Pegasus. I think this will be her new best friend, possibly love interest. We know Starbuck will probably beat the shit out of him, then dominate him. No, I'm just kidding. But, maybe she will borrow this soap. Maybe this is an actual soap that doesn't affect her allergies. She could have a skin allergy, right?
Well, and you got to remember, she is pretty close to Hilo. So, maybe that soap having been that close to Hilo, maybe there's something going on there. Maybe there will be a Sharon Starbuck Hilo love triangle. We just don't know.
Well, we don't know, do we? I know that.
Well, we know, but nobody else on the panel does.
One thing I do want to ask is, Starbuck was intensely sweaty, right? This was probably the most nervous we've ever seen her ever, right? I don't know if that's even a term, just it's a Johnny-ism. But Kane, I think, knew what was going to happen, don't you? I don't even know if anyone talked about this on Friday.
Yeah, I think she had a feeling it might. I also, it.
No spoilers.
The end, Kane's last scene right before she gets shot, and don't get me wrong, there's so much satisfaction when Kane gets shot. I mean, there is. But there's the little moments that humanize her a little bit. Like, she comes into the room after this whole operation and everything happens. And yeah, you see her like, she's like, oh, I got to take my dress jacket off. I have to, just relax. My back is hurting. I think it humanizes her a little bit. I personally, it's one of my very few criticisms of what R&D do, but I would have humanized her more during this 3-episode arc, just to make it would have made this. It would have made you feel a little bad for feeling satisfied about her getting shot, but I understand how and why they did what they did.
Yeah. I would agree with that. That's a good point. But you needed the other side of humanity here.
Yes, and
the opposite. I think I don't know. I may, it's hard to say. I think I like where they went. I see what you mean. but in the overall aspect, in the big picture, I think it may work out better, if that makes sense, in my opinion.
And hashtag you're not my type.
Yeah, I know, right? Look, she does not take rejection well. So, Kane dies. We talked a bunch about this. This will be linked at the end of this and Friday's episode. We had a really good time. Go check that out. John, Amy True, and Mackenzie. I was there a little bit, but they definitely broke it down well. And first off, I want to give a shout out to Bobby Catalano, Julianne89. Hold on. First, I want to give a shout out to Bobby Catalano, Julianne89, Mackenzie L. Burns, Amy True, and Clarissa Thompson. Also, yes, they do a fantastic job. We will see them Fridays, but go check out the one before this. They will break it down. But something they didn't touch on that we need to touch on. And why do you hate us, John? Why?
I love the entire series, and this is a series that has a lot of amazing dialogue. But when Adama has Sharon come in, and he puts himself in a totally vulnerable position here, which I think is important. But he just asks her, "Why do you hate us?" She's like, "Well, we don't hate you." And he's, "Don't. I'm not going to fence with you. I'm not going to verbally fence with you." And she's like, "Well, it kind of goes back to the speech you gave when you were decommissioning the Battlestar before all of this happened, and you said." We've never asked ourselves as humanity why we deserve to survive despite all the horrible things we do. Maybe you don't.
Yeah, maybe they don't at all. That's a really good point. Also, so deep and philosophical there. And Sharon doesn't necessarily give her answer. You can say she's definitely conflicted, right? She has her love for Hilo, but how far does that go? Once the baby's here, does she still have any use for Hilo? Once she's not locked up anymore, does she still have any use for it? Or do the Cylons have any use for Sharon after they're done, right? Like after this baby is born, will she have any use? Like there's many different scenarios set up here, and then it's perfect, like you said, and we segued it very well. The darker side of humanity being shown in this, 3-part, what you would call it, episode set, and yeah, man, that's very well said. I would agree with that. I think it's something definitely for the Jills to look into. Uh, they know Sharon is important, but expand on that scope. Why do you think Sharon is important? Because and one goes on past that. Once she has this baby, assuming that she has it, we've had prophesizing, but you never know what can happen. We did see Adama drown a baby, right?
We did in Baltar's vision. Also, I think it's very important that Adama has this conversation with her right after he has this conversation with Apollo, where Apollo isn't necessarily being judgy. I mean, kind of, but he's questioning his actions by initiating an assassination order. He doesn't say like you're wrong or anything like that, but he does say, essentially, is this what we've become? For me, this is one of the most powerful moments that Adama and Adama have had so far in the show, because especially the way it ends, where it's good to see you, son.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
Yeah, let's just segue into all things Adama or Lee, and hashtag Adama and Adama in the chat. That sounds like a really good TV show, right? Like a network TV show, a
Right.
sitcom. Get a little sitcom. Adama and Adama. Uh, but we have, we start off this episode with an intense scene. Some of the one of the Jills, or I think Julianne, said she thought this was Baltar in the water at first, which I find interesting. Take a shot, and we have Adama basically laying in the water, right, relaxed, and this comes from you know R&D. They pull from history, right, and this comes from the World War II, the battle at Midway, and the sinking of the USS Hornet, which there was only one survivor who flew a torpedo plane. His name was Vincent Gray, and he actually had to sit there in a life jacket and watch as the battle unfolded. He actually watched three Japanese aircraft carriers get sunk by the Americans, and that's pretty much where this was pulled from. I think that's pretty cool. They always try to pull some stuff from history, so whenever I can find it, I'll shout it out. John, I'm done. No.
Well, first I have to say I can understand the confusion. I mean, given the way the shot's done and the fact that they're both attractive British men with great abs, you might mix it up. I do think Baltar's a little more hairy, but yeah, going into this, like we didn't really touch on this Friday. Friday was a little all over the place, but once in a while we do that. We're trying to avoid it and be a little more professional, but we'll see. Um, just Adama's whole arc through this show, or Lee Adama's whole arc through this show, we didn't really touch on. He is at the spot where he's like, I really don't want to come back. Like he has this. I mean, he realizes that oxygen's escaping from where some shrapnel hit his suit, and he's trying to cover it, trying to cover it, trying to cover it, and then you wonder if it's like oxygen deprivation, or if it's just like, hey, I give up. But I think that he's really just kind of let go. And I do think it's really cool when the raptor comes, because it's almost like that. Like you're wondering, it's like, is it because you have this person who's about to die, and then there's that light, and like your first thought is, you know, is this like that light at the end of the tunnel? Because the show focuses so much on God, religion, and things like that. And you kind of wonder, and then you're like, oh, it's a raptor. But I think that scene is so well shot. And I think Apollo's arc. I think we're really seeing something about Apollo here. I mean, he's a good man. He's an honorable man. He's a noble man, and I think he's at a point where, like, if we have, he was so shocked when he found out that the president is the one who suggested to Adama to assassinate Kane. Yeah, that's the shot I was talking about. But
in a minute.
He was so shocked, and I think that plays into why he was like, "Hey, I give up on this," And then his conversation with Starbuck at the end, oh my gosh, he's like, "I didn't want to come back." It's really. I mean, that's you wonder how you feel. Oh, and here you wonder.
That shot right here. Go ahead.
Yeah, you wonder why Dee's creeping.
bound to go. Oh, you almost had me in wrestling practice. Oh, no. I know it's more self-defense or jujitsu, but still, uh, she maybe feels his pain. People have been shipping them. I can't remember which Jills. I think I know Mackenzie said something, and or Sasa, Jill number 2, and who else said something? There was that awkward moment where they almost seemingly kissed.
I think it was Amy, but I can't guarantee that.
We'll find out. They'll yell at us in the comments,
Yeah,
which is totally
exactly.
fine.
Please
But
tell us who is shipping Adama and D. The Adama.
right. And we'll see kind of what plays with this. Maybe Dee has a story of her own she can relate to Apollo, or maybe Apollo rejects her. Maybe Apollo goes for Starbuck instead. Maybe Starbuck tries to get back with Baltar. No, we don't know, honestly.
Maybe D tries to get with Starbuck.
Well, I mean, this is just such a compressed situation, and it's a lot easier to fall in love when you're forced into survival. Not
I'm
saying,
just doing headcanon here.
yeah, not saying it's any less of a real love, but you either are going to love less or love more in the situation, right? Wouldn't you think?
Oh yeah, I think that's the whole focus of this entire 3-episode arc.
Yeah, yeah. It'd be interesting to see what plays out. Go ahead.
You know, when does your survival become more important than your humanity, and vice versa? You know, in the end game in this, with the guns about to be pointed at all sorts of people, that kind of I think compresses that entire thought. Which is more important, survival or staying humane and decent?
True.
The conversation on the phone that Commander Adama has with Kara. He's like, I've been thinking about what we were talking about. Yeah, it that's really important.
Yeah,
And
it
then
is.
he gets on the phone with Fisk and is like, congratulations. That's all. So yeah, like you were asking, you kind of wonder if she knew,
Yeah.
especially the foreshadowing when she and Starbuck were having their cocktail hour.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at it as in maybe Kane knew of a threat that she was going to have to deal with later, right? That she was going to have to maybe pull the trigger on someone later, or maybe Kane realized that what she's done is unforgivable, right? But she had to do it, and she's going to stand by it. And if she has to bite the bullet, she will, which I think is honorable, right? A lot of people just straight up, admiral bitch, which is fine. But if you really open her up and look at what happened right here and take it for what it is, there's no way an experienced commander, battle commander, doesn't know that something's up with Starbuck at this moment. Uh, Profusely sweating to the point where someone has to know. She was sweating as much as Leoben. Um, you know,
Yes.
it's I don't know. It's hard not to spoil, but it's good for Kane. Kane's not. I didn't don't not saying she's a good person, but she understands what she did. She's not without a conscience here, even though she overrode her conscience for the supposed greater good in her mind and was willing to accept that punishment. You know that, or it's foreshadowing for something else. But I like what I've got first. Deal
Yeah.
with that and then expand on it later.
No.
Jill.
Agreed. You brought up Commander Bitch. I know we didn't plan on this, but do you want to bring up Commander Weepy Eyes? Or, I'm sorry. Oh, okay, erase that. You brought up Admiral Bitch. Do you want to go ahead and bring up Admiral Weepy Eyes? Because that's another thing we didn't really talk about on Friday.
Wait, this Weepy Eyes?
No,
Who?
Admiral Weepy Eyes.
Oh, that Admiral Weepy Eyes. That one?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Yes, this was so good. This is I think this means more to Adama than just being an admiral as well, right? Um this is it has a lot to do with that, but the honor to be chosen and the honor to serve under someone he respects so much and they have been through so much together. It's almost probably like a novelty to him, but means more sentimentally than we could probably ever know because of how much. Well, I mean, but just because of how dire the situation is and how much you're going to hold on to every little thing that's good in your life, and you're going to cherish it, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm misreading it, but you know how I get deep and philosophical.
No, I agree entirely. And also, for all you shippers out there, you finally get to hear them say Bill and Laura. And this is such a touching
Adama Mama.
because she's dying. You can tell that she is. She needs somebody to help her walk. He asks her how she feels. She's like I could sleep for a day. Like, if you've ever been around anybody who's suffering from terminal cancer, it's some pretty intense stuff.
I mean, it
And
really.
yeah, the scene's so touching.
Well, he's gaining an admiralship and basically losing someone else in the process, right? It's always nothing good ever happens without, you could say consequence, but that's not the right term I'm looking for. You can't have the good without the bad in a sense, and it's amplified, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And just the whole, the kiss and the thank you, Laura. Thank you, Billy. Like it's pretty touching moment.
It really is. It's a really good episode. Um,
And this is right after
I gave my bullshit rating Friday, so I'm gonna give my real rating today. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Bang bang bitches. Because I wanted to hold off till I felt better to think of something good. Yeah, man. Go ahead and anything else you want to really say, and then we have some really good teasers for you this week. And
this is right after the funeral. And the one thing I do want to touch on is what Starbucks says at the funeral. I mean, we touched on it Friday, but I do want to talk a little bit about that. I think it's really important what Starbucks says. I think we were safer with her than without her. It might be something that viewers might want to think about. There might be some foreshadowing.
Well, yeah, and I mean it's kind of perfect too because this was a Kane focused episode and not without good reason. Hint, 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 hint. To your point, what Kara said may or may not be true, but she definitely feels that way. And take that with a grain of salt because she's pretty damn experienced. And I think she knows what she's talking about. Kind of, yeah, I don't know how much I can put with that, but you lost probably one of your best commanders in a situation where you don't have that many people.
One of your best commanders who you were about to kill because you had an order to.
Yeah.
And then also on the other emotional note, like her conversation with Lee. Like, she deals with a lot of emotional stuff this episode, but then you see her here, and she's very professional, and she says exactly how she feels.
Yeah, she doesn't sugarcoat it, and that's what you gotta love about Starbucks. Shower or not, gotta love her.
My venti soy chai latte from Starbucks is very sugar coated.
Don't forget to go to Starbucks today.
And clean your bathtub with scrubbing bubbles.
Tell them the Cylon John sent you.
Finish the day with some Lefroy scotch.
Tell them the Cylon John sent you. You know, it'd be funny. People would be like, the Cylon John sent me. Huh? But, yeah, man, you got a good teaser. This next episode coming up, I have to say, like, it's good. It's really good. It's not a 3-part epic, but damn, there's some crazy shit in there. With that, it is called Epiphanies, which is a very good name for the episode and an episode in general. I have epiphanies all the time. Most of the time, they're really dumb, but hey, they're fun to have. But no, that's the wrong definition of it.
I usually just have apostrophes.
Yeah, that's more on mine. I have the occasional full-blown epiphany, but this is, they're going to come to a lot of realizations here, right? Kind of, I liked how we ended this on our last point. I'm not going to say it again, but they're going to come to some realizations, and you have a great teaser. I will give mine first. That way you can end up.
Well, yeah, it's your turn to go first this week.
So say we, all these bastards. You meat bags, we love you. Also, real quick before I give my teaser, Bubba Husky, Catherine Harding, and Al Red Sox fan, do not worry. Your hashtag tootin' the tens are in production. Do you like that dramatic pause there?
Think about May. Yeah, it'll be about mid-May. Maybe it'll be a Mother's Day gift for you.
Yeah, we're trying to get all the things lined out so when the logo is big, it looks right, and we don't want to just send y'all a piece of crap. So we're going to get it all put together, and don't you worry, we still got you. And we'll have another hashtag tootin' the 10. I'm trying to think of a good word. Anyways, you might can get a toot in the 10. Just show up. We'll have another announcement soon. So, John.
And bring your hashtags.
And bring your hashtags. That is one of the entry fees. Also, my teaser for Epiphanies, Season 2, Episode 13. Do Cylon babies dream of electric sheep? That is the question.
It's a damn good one. I got to show that up now. Now you're bringing up some Philip K. Dicks, so that's pretty hard. A little voice inside my head said, "Don't look back. You can never look back." By the way, that's "Boys of Summer" by Don Henley.
That's a good one. What a way train. Never mind. So, with that, we will give our famous tagline, and don't forget to tune in to the Cylon Johns and Jills at 9 p.m. Eastern on Fridays. Also, check out my main channel, Johnny B. Crazy. Where can they find you at, John St. Baptiste?
John St. Baptiste at YouTube. Right now, we're working on myself and Amy True are going through American Gods episode by episode as it comes out. There will be an episode tomorrow afternoon if you're in America, tomorrow evening if you're in Europe. And actually, that'll probably be tonight afternoon and tonight evening, but we'll see. These podcasts do take a second to come out. And Game of Thrones Season 7 playlist should be up too. So that'll be exciting. It'll be exciting for me because I can finally relax and take a breather.
Yeah, man. We all deserve. We've been all working very hard, and with that, just go check out everybody's stuff. Buy Bobby's stuff. Check out Clarissa's page. Everything's in the links below. Mackenzie L. Burns. Everybody, just check out the description. Hit all the buttons. You know you want to. And with that, so say we all, my friend.
So say we all.